And we are live. Excellent. Uh, hey guys, I'm here with Yannis. I apologize for any background noises. It's my niece playing Fortnite in the background and any washer noises. But I'm here with Yannis. Alex is not
Hello.
here yet. I have no idea. Uh, he's just late, or if he's not coming, because typically he gives me a heads up when something's going on. Uh, but anyway, thanks to anybody who's just popping in. So today we are discussing Dark Journey, and I'll turn on my camera here for a second. Got my copy here. Also discussing the short story Apprentice from this. Ties into the novel. Got my Reader's Companion and my new essential chronology. Because I did a quick little recap of how things are going.
The
Uh,
whole toolbox.
yeah. So turning off camera now. All right, so I'll head to my notes. I'll start with uh, my opinion of this novel before I hit my notes and everything. My opinion of this novel. The novel is okay. Um, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Like
Agreed.
there's some really good stuff that happens in this book. Um, but a lot of it is a lot of like particular subplots. Hold on one second.
So if I am to take over, is that there are a lot of subplots, a lot of political maneuvering going on?
Yeah, and normally that interests the heck out of me because one of my favorite books was Cloak of Deception. There's a lot of political
Hmm.
machinations, a lot of intrigue, and there was even stuff like that in the Black Fleet Crisis trilogy. Political machinations, but for some reason, a lot of the political machinations in this book, um, in particular the Ta Chume stuff, did not interest me all that much. Like I get it, she's conniving, but I expect that from the former Queen Mother uh, at this point. Like just
Yeah.
I genuinely just expect her to be just conniving and two timing and planning. But yeah, the book was just okay. But I'll start talking about my notes, and so give me 2 seconds. Let's just get this up and running. So the book, so the book kind of starts with Priest Harar and you guys, you can, and the book kind of starts with Priest Harar and Kali Law, um, pretty much sending their forces to attack Jaina's. It's I think the ship's called the Kirster or something like that. The one she and the Jedi are flying at the moment, and dang, we lost Yannis. So she'll be back in a minute. But yeah, like she's flying the Kirster, and she believe she flies it. Uh, she flies it away from Merker, obviously. And uh, throughout this whole thing, Jaina and Zach are just kind of like fighting, and oh, there we go. He's back. Jaina and Zach are just come on, add to stage. Thank you. And Jaina and Zach are just kind of arguing about her behavior and her actions because she's kind of going down a bit of a dark side path. Uh, just kind of starting. She has like her obvious like anger issues and whatnot. But yeah, she like they're pretty much arguing about like is this sort of the right thing? And it's what's strange is that like a lot of the Jedi can kind of, including Tenel Ka, can kind of feel her emotions and why it's. And we lost him again. Oh, great. Anyway, and they can kind of feel feel her emotions and kind of like feel all her negativity and how it's affecting them and everything. All right, so just he's back. He must be having big time technical issue. There we go. Or maybe it's on my end. Could be on my end. It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, Jaina and Anakin are, or Jaina and Zek argue about what happened to Anakin, her actions after Anakin died, and how she's kind of slipping into a state. Uh, you know, her grief's kind of taking like a rough hold. I think they made a. I'm not sure. Someone made a joke about. God, it's been a bit since I've read that portion of the novel, but someone made a joke about Kip's dozen. Not sure exactly who it was. Oh yeah, okay, that's why. Because they're wondering where his dozen were, and I guess his from previously from Star by Star, his dozen had been wiped out. So yeah, but yeah, they emerge in the battle over Coruscant. Uh, all that stuff going on. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's what happens. Kip loses his dozen, basically just because of his arrogance. And again, I'm still the number one Kip Duran defender here because like I still feel like a lot of what NJO did was just kind of like uh, a de-evolution of his character. Because again, anybody who's read the Young Jedi Knights book knows that he's kind of past all this, and then suddenly, but again, it also kind of makes sense because like everyone's treating him like he's a pariah and whatnot. So yeah, I thought my dad was going to read the comments. I guess he's not going to do that. Whatever. So I can't even see the comments. Maybe I can. Let me check YouTube here. If it will let me. If it will let me. Without screwing this thing up. Without screwing this thing up. I can hope so. I can hope so.
And I agree that the Kipper bantering isn't that good. So
Yeah, okay. Nothing in the comments right now. But anywho, yeah, so let's see. So Octoramus cold review. Oh yeah, so someone in Kip's team literally literally just like I think rebukes Kip because he pretty much got the majority of his dozen killed, and he ends up going to go rescue the Falcon because like his unit's just been kind of like completely decimated. And so the team, the Jaina's surviving Jedi team, what was left of Anakin's team, uh, now realizes that Coruscant is lost, so they decide potentially to fly to Galanor um, in order to find out if anybody is hiding there, including her parents, if any of them are still alive, if they made it there. Uh, so
yep. Just generally, we catch the characters, say, the moment we see the main cast of characters is after the retreat of Coruscant. So everyone is still alert, let's say, to what's going on.
well, I guess just from looking at my notes, because again, it's been a while since I took. Remember, I took a long break with this novel going to the con, but it says like basically Han and Leia. Well, Leia pretty much scans her daughter, and like she feels like a huge burst of dark side energy from her.
Mm.
Because again, she's going through kind of that same dark side edgy phase that they're like. I'm kind of seeing an echo of Kate Skywalker a little bit,
Yeah.
where it's like and even a little bit of what they were trying to push with Kip Duran, like this means to an end sort of thing.
Mhm. This
Uh,
darker, let's say, phase of a character.
yeah. So let's see. So next, it cuts to pretty much. Oh, hello there, Andres. Welcome. Oh, it's interesting. It's actually showing the comments. Perfect. So, you're going to get a new annotation edition of Rentals eventually. Yeah, eventually. Because I might want to read the annotations live if Lucasfilm uh does not like give
Take it
Matthew
down the
Stover
pay
his.
or
Well, one of the things I was hoping for when I went to the con was hoping that they would give Matthew Stover his own audiobook adaptation
mm,
um, of him reading his annotations, just like Tim Zahn got like 20 years, or was 10, 20 years
for
ago?
the 20-year anniversary of
Yeah, for the
Heir to the
20th
Empire.
anniversary of Heir to the Empire. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that eventually. If that doesn't work out, all right, so the next scene was Suntir Fell arguing with his son Jag about like getting involved with the war with the Vong because of like the whole Chiss rule about not striking first. They have that like we don't attack unless provoked rule, which is what I
Yeah.
think is probably the only real weakness in the Chiss.
Mm,
So yeah, he ends up sending his son into the war because like Suntir himself cannot, because of his alliance with the Chiss. Suntir himself cannot get involved because the Chiss are super
yeah.
reluctant to fight in everybody's war. But I got to use the Merry and Pippin logic, talking to the Ents, which is like, you're part of this world, aren't you? But
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see Sutin fell for a change because I don't think we've seen him up to this point, maybe in Dark Tide, but it's nice to get some of those connections to some of the earlier material, like
actually, I don't even remember seeing Suntir Fell in Dark Tide. I'm pretty sure it was just Jagged and a few pilots that Suntir Fell had
yeah,
sent over,
that's
and
probably it.
he'd sent the. I could be wrong, but he had sent them over to Pelion to assist when they were working with Tres Prafi to fight the Vong.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, that little temporary alliance. Uh,
correct, correct.
so Jaina and the gang start heading to Hapes in hopes of using the Vong ship that they have now, the Mirrorst, which I think I'm not sure if it's now or later, but Jaina eventually names the ship the Trickster, as a
Yeah.
sort of mock to the Vong goddess Yunharla. Um,
Mhm.
but basically, she wants to use the ships to start tracking to see if Jason is alive, potentially.
Mm,
Even though she's very skeptical of whether or not Jason is alive, because she cannot feel him in the Force, not realizing that her touching the dark side is why she can't feel him in the Force.
correct.
The irony of it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's something which happens. Meanwhile, in real time, the audience is not aware of what actually happened to Jason. They just know that he's been taken away.
Yeah. Well,
So,
because as far as like, I know this is pretty much brought up later in the novel, but as far as they're aware, Luke and Mara can't sense Jason. But Leia has a good feeling. Hey Seth, thanks man. Uh, let's see. So yeah, this other note says Harar and Kali Law have a female and a female Vong warrior kill a Hapen Peace Brigader and put one of those Tism worm is in another's ear when they're hunting for Jaina Solo. Oh, that must be my dad. He's using my mom's PFP. Oh, nice. All right.
Just that passage you read out, it shows the Vong's brutality, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's like they pretty much have a no failure quotient, not just with their own warriors but with their henchmen, which makes sense. And I feel no remorse or sympathy for anyone who's in the Peace Brigade because you're literally traitors.
Correct. Yeah.
Not just like to your own kind, but to your own galaxy. You're selling people into slavery to be sacrificed to the Vong gods in hopes of avoiding death yourself. So I'm like, absolute cowards. So yeah, no sympathy there. So we have Han and Leia heading to Hapes and basically feeling grief over Anakin's death. Because again, this is one book after the previous one, so they're still feeling the loss. Han obviously has to be the stronger support figure this time around because it was because Leia can felt her son's death in the Force. It was harder for her, and she is gaining her strength back, but and then they get attacked by Dovin basils, like some mines. Like they actually get assaulted by Dovin basils. Did I lose you again? I might have. And then it next. Oh no, wait, you're on mute. But and then the next scene cuts to Ta Chume and Tristan planning to kill Tenennial Joe and replacing her with another queen because ever since the Hapen fleet was wiped out, Tenennial Joe lost the male heir of Hapes, the second born child that they were working on, and she's been like kind of emaciated and sick. So yeah, there's that. And then just as the team is coming into the Hape system, they get attacked by some Hapen pirates. You still there, Yannis? Might be on mute. So yeah, get attacked by Hapen pirates. Tenel Ka has the idea of taking a Hapen space pod, trying to get down to the planet and getting her government to help them while they're being attacked by the pirates in hopes of giving them a better shot at survival. So let's see. So yeah, Ta Chume sends a rescue team for the Jedi children, and sends a rescue team for the Jedi children, and that's kind of when she hits on the idea for the potential heir, the potential new wife, And Jaina obviously suspects something. She's like, "This is kind of suspicious." She's kind of like looking at me like something's up.
Yeah. I mean,
And
this is a bit of
Tenel. Sorry, go
foreshadowing.
ahead.
Well, it's a bit of
Yeah, yeah.
foreshadowing for what happens later in the novel.
Well, I mentioned earlier. You might have missed that, but basically, like her and her consort Tristan uh, are um, planning on uh, killing Tenennial Joe so that they can replace with the younger queen. So Tenel Ka, before she can even land on the planet, her pod ends up getting grabbed. Asking if you're getting, yeah, I noticed. But it's actually showing comments this time around, so surprising. Uh, yeah, so yeah, Tenel Ka gets captured. I think what they're called Cornish pirates, which are basically Hapen pirates that have broken from the crown and the military. Uh, so her pod gets grabbed by them.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then Jaina, she's kind of like she activates a Villip to kind of
Part of
like
this
make a
book.
deal with. I'm not sure if you remember this, but she kind of she activates a Villip to make a deal with Savang Law. Like
Yeah,
she's going
yeah.
to now,
I
mind
remember.
you, she's lying, but she's intending to hand herself over to them. But she's really just kind of like trying to track their location or something like that. And then Savang Law, realizing that he's been like kind of duped, sends High Priest Harar and I think he's his nephew. Sends Kaylee Law. So yeah, he sends them after him. And then Jaina does something that's very Kip Duran like in her methodology here. She actually uses the dark side to try and manipulate Zek when he refuses to join, like just to jump to the suicidal rescue of Tenel Ka.
Yeah.
She like kind of she genuinely kind of like probes and messes with his head the same way Kip Duran does. And despite her clear, again, like everybody else seems to have this hate boner for Kip Duran, despite her clear hate boner for Kip Duran, uh,
Yeah.
she can't help but like grudgingly respect his methodology.
This is also when Jaina starts considering an apprenticeship, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
that's yeah, because he made the offer earlier, and that's coming. I'm getting to that. Don't worry.
Okay. Maybe a quick
So,
side note to the cover art. Oh, no, continue.
oh, hang on. I just want to get to my notes real quick. What did you want to
Until
say?
you get. Well, I wanted a quick side note to the cover art of the book.
Hmm.
It's interesting because this is the only, I think, cover art in NJO, which actually mirrors another book's cover art, Traders. When we get there, I think we'll
Yeah,
sort of,
Traders is blue.
yeah.
If I recall, it's more of a
I
blue
mean, if
color.
yeah, but still, if you can join them, it actually creates like a little mural. So, and they're also by the same artist. So,
Well, I kind of
um,
figured there were. I think the cover's okay, but I do think Jaina looks a little too like video game CGI ish on the cover.
yeah, that That's a problem with the NJO covers that are all over the place.
Yeah, I really wish that they had used variations of the Japanese covers
Yeah,
because those are really fantastic. And if
yeah,
again when they because obviously at some point they're going to release ELCs of the essential the ELCs of the NJO. Um, I really hope they use the Japanese covers because anything less would just look trash and sloppy.
yeah. I
So
mean, I don't think they will, but we can only hope.
so like this next note is I thought it was interesting and it actually kind of make me like the I forgot what her species is, but it made me like Keckley quite a bit.
Chandra fan.
Yeah, Shadrafan. Um, she went to Anakin's body because when Jaina went to check on Anakin's body, Keckley had healed all of his wounds,
Mhm.
so that he looked like despite being gone, his body looked healthy again,
Yeah,
which was a very nice thing to do. And Keckley can still feel Jaina's anger, and she kind of grieves for Jaina in that sense.
yep. I mean, Tekli is just a nice character throughout the series.
It makes me think that from the Legacy comics, it makes me wonder if Tilly Kwa, who's another Shadrafan in Legacy, is a descendant of Tekli. That would be a very interesting connection if true. But it's probably just me trying to put dots together, like I tried to do with Key from Legacy, because I thought she was a descendant of Vilmar Grok. I really wish she was, because that would have been cool. So Harar and Kalilah pretty much discover that Jaina is a lot of the information she's getting from the Vong. She's using the Mirist, or as she later calls it, the trickster. Uh, she's using it to take information of the Vong's actions from their Yamosk. And I think this is roughly about the time she hits upon the idea of uh, what she's going to plan about confusing and tracking Vong ships, and confusing their tracking signals. Anyway, so then Jagged, who goes with another character. I think this might have been she might have been in Dark Tide, but I don't remember if she was. Um, you get kind of the introduction of Shankir, who's a Chiss pilot who's under Jag's command. She pretty much follows his lead and everything. Has her own personality, obviously, which she's kind of an interesting character. Uh, but basically, they attack Vong pirates that are I wouldn't say Vong pirates. They might be Priest Brigade ships with Vong, but they attack some Vong ships that are going after some refugee ships, just trying to get to safety in the Hapes cluster. And then after they succeed in that, they decide to go to Hapes to try and recruit some pilots uh, to help fight in their war against the Vong. Basically, since Jag can't get any help from the Chiss or from the Empire of the Hand, he's pretty much looking to places like Hapes, like Galanor, to get recruits who are willing to, form a squadron to fight the Vong, which I thought is cool. And then Jaina gets this kind of weird behavior because she says she's grieving, but it's a more detached grief, which kind of bugs me because if you care about someone, like genuinely care about someone, you're gonna grieve for them.
Yeah.
You're gonna. But hers is like, I put my tears on hold so I can get payback, and it's like, girl, do you even hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
And she even kind of has like, I guess you could say a deep thinking session about what Jason and Tenel Ka's relationship, like if they felt anything, which anybody who's paid attention to the Young Jedi Knights as well as Star by Star knows that they did. That there was a
Yeah.
clear romantic
I mean,
connection there.
it's one of the inconsistencies of New Jedi Order where some authors always align Jason with Tenel Ka, while others align him with Danny Kui, and that there's this sort of
Well,
love triangle going on by the end of it.
I don't know because again, I haven't gotten to any books, so I don't know if he ever kind of flirts with Danny Kui again. Uh, but cool pirates. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if there's like if that sort of love triangle pops up again. I'm sure it does. But
It does, it does.
I remember at the beginning of NJO that like oh this underage kid is like perving on this grown woman who just went through a trauma, or not perving, but like there's feelings coming up, and I'm like, dude, he's underage, so yeah, or at least that's how it was at the beginning of the book. Maybe they'll find more justification now, but uh, yeah, there was obviously his relationship with Tenel Ka. So let me check more of me notes. Let's see. So basically, Jaina muses about. Jaina muses about Jason's relationship. I'll go back. So the young Jedi Knights, they go to rescue. They go to rescue Tenel Ka. Basically, kind of agreeing to that sort of rescue mission. So
Hmm.
let's see. So yeah, then Kip Duran meets again with the Solo and Skywalkers after kind of like checking out what the refugees have been through and losing his unit. So I guess he's kind of trying to start his redemption arc here, which again, I'm still not a big fan of his whole character assassination as these books went, and the fact that people feel like he needed a redemption. But let's see. So yeah, and Mara is clearly still angry with him because of how he manipulated Jaina in the previous books. Uh, Basically led her to believe that they were attacking a Vong super weapon, but they ended up blowing a civilian ship. So like, yeah, Mara's obviously still mad.
Nope.
Sorry about that. I lost connection. Checking my notes.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, hang on. Sorry. So yeah, I'm not sure if Kip Duran knew entirely about Anakin's death, or if he did, he might not have felt. He might have. Anyway, he offers his condolences, and there's also the implication that that I don't think I don't know what it is, but I feel like most of the Jedi, except for Leia, seem to feel that Jason is dead, and Kip Duran is no exception to that feeling because he does not feel he's alive either.
Yeah.
and he tries to do a mental nudge to Leia, which Leia does not appreciate because she's not a big fan of Kip, despite Han being friendly with him. Yeah, Han is the
Yeah.
only one who like doesn't seem to like have an issue with Kip, even
Yeah, I
despite
mean
what happened.
they both have a history together.
Yeah,
As in that's how Kip came into the fold. Han found him, and
yeah. No, I
they
remember
had
from the
a
Jedi Academy, he found him on Kessel, which
yeah.
yeah, at some point I need to make a video defense of Kip Duran, but uh, anyway, so then he kind of walks off with Leia, just kind of following her, wanting he kind of wants to be of service because he's like, hey, like I'm thinking about a lot of my mistakes, including like what happened with my squadron, how I've been acting towards your brother, how I've been acting in general. It's interesting that he wants. I'm like, okay, good. So Kip basically wants to have his redemption now. Again, I still don't think he needed one, but Kip turns out to be not so bad eventually. Yeah, I didn't think he was bad either, like to begin with. Enough people did not read the short story Simple Tricks, nor the Young Jedi Knight books. So it's roughly about this time that Leia and Kip, while they're talking, they run into Jagged and Shankir, and basically they. Okay, so basically, um, Jag basically mentions that I'm recruiting for you know troops to fight the Vong, and Kip basically kind of humbles himself. He's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm at your service then, sir." Like he's willing to be under Jag's command to do fight the good fight, which is interesting because Kip is usually the one like just what you've seen from NJ. He's typically the one leading the charge, and now he's willing to humble himself, which is again, it's another point. And when he hears that Jaina's in trouble, he wants to instantly go with them in hopes of like trying to pay off the debt he owes, I guess you could say. And then Tenel Ka and Zek are arguing about Jaina and her, I guess, sort of path she's taking in connection to the dark side. And Zek's basically like, yeah, I don't want to be around her when she's like this. Um, Partially because I don't want to have to be the one to do it if she goes over to the dark side. And Tenel Ka like kind of pretty much kind of understands where he's coming from, but at the same time, there's still like the argument, like there's still if she goes over to the dark side, someone needs to take the responsibility. And then while they're being attacked, they get rescued by Jag, Shankir, and Kip Duran. And of course, Jaina is angry at Kip, despite taking a lot of his particular lessons to heart. Uh,
Yeah.
bit hypocritical there of Jaina, but it's she's not on the right path right now. So
I mean, Jaina is also a teenager at the time, so I think it's logical for her to be all over the place when it comes to her
well,
emotions.
technically
I
she's
mean,
an adult. I think she just turned like 18 or something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, 18 teens.
Yeah. So while they're attacked, they have like this. They're like the like Jaina's ship is like kind of connected to the pirate ship, and they were kind of like towing in both the pirate ship and Jaina's ship. And so while they were being attacked by some Dovin Basils and some, other Vong ships, Zek kind of separates and does kind of a nosedive. And initially, everybody worries, oh, is he going to die? You think oh, this is going to be the big book where Zek dies.
Yeah.
Another of the young Jedi Knights dies, but he ends up surprisingly making through it.
Yeah.
And so, let's see, checking notes. And so, the Solo Skywalker clan kind of has a reunion, and
Yeah.
basically, Leia's 100% convinced that Jason is still alive and he needs to be found. While Jaina, again, because she cut herself off from her brother falling to the dark side, feels like she feels like her mom's delusional because Kip can't feel Jason, Luke can't feel Jason, which I still don't understand how Luke can't feel Jason. I don't know. Maybe it's just where the position he's in right now, but
Maybe.
it seems strange that Leia is the only one that seems to be able to feel it. But that could just be her
Yeah.
genuine motherly bond with her kids, so it makes sense.
That's probably what they're trying to show. That Leia has a motherly bond between her two twins, and that it's perhaps only been strengthened by Anakin's death.
And then we have Jaina saying farewell to her parents, I guess, at least for now. And then Ta Chume is kind of doing her, machinations and everything. So she, the comments are fine. Anyway, the kid finally starts to care about others more than themselves. Yeah, probably. But basically, Ta Chume offers support to Jaina, and you think Jaina's everything's all good. But it turns out, it's just her plotting and planning to make Jaina her daughter-in-law, basically. So,
Yeah.
and this is pretty much when Jaina starts to believe more that the Jedi are missing some sort of fundamental reality, that they aren't, going far enough to take down the Vong. She's basically falling into the trap of the dark side,
Yeah.
whether she
I
wants
mean,
to admit it or not.
She's echoing the same sentiments that Kip was previously,
Yeah, I don't
in some
know. I
ways.
don't know what it is about these authors. Um, I don't know, maybe it's the whole grayism thing or whatever, but they seem to have this misconception about the Force, uh, thinking you can be angry and use rougher powers and not be on and tactics and not be on the dark side. I'm like, that's not how the Force works. That's not how things work in
Yeah, I
Star
mean,
Wars in general. It's
NJO has its own philosophy of the Force, which we will see through Traitor again and the unifying Force,
yeah, I'm
even
I'm,
though
I'm
that's a
looking
lot
forward to
more.
I am looking forward to Trader, but at the same time, I'm like, I think that's why Troy Denning gets a lot of hate, because he brought things back to the general good versus evil, light versus dark extremes that Star Wars,
Yeah,
whether people want to admit it or not, Star Wars is. It's good versus evil. There is no gray. Now, I'm not saying individuals can't be gray, but if you're a Jedi and you're dipping into more combat oriented, aggressive philosophies, um, you're already falling into the trap of the dark side. You just don't see it yet.
yeah,
Because that's a Jedi's way is not aggression. It's not seeking revenge. It's not holding. the whole point, and I think I covered this in the previous. A Jedi's life is sacrifice.
Yeah.
But let's see. So, next scene is a space battle, and it's Kip fighting Hornets under Jag's command, like basically this Vong ships and Peace Brigade shit, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And throughout, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the books, because Kip and Jag are like just kind of trading jabs about the New Republic and the Empire. They're like, I still don't get how you guys were able to beat the Empire of old. And he's like, we have this kind of like tenacity to be unpredictable. And because Jag's more of like an Imperial etiquette guy, he's like, it's a wonder you guys were able to beat us.
Yeah.
There's kind of like a, and then like Kip kind of makes a joke at the New Republic's expense. Is like, well, despite us being like the plucky bunch, we're still not doing that great against the Vong. So just keep that in mind.
Yep.
One of
I
the
mean, it's
things
just that.
one of the things they talk about is like you know trying to help Jaina, and there's like a thing back and forth between Kip and Jag, and they're talking about different ways, and there's a clear rivalry there. I don't know if Elaine Cunningham was one of those people that were like potentially like is she going to end up with Jag, or is she going to follow her father's path and date rather follow her mother's path and date a guy that's like a decade older than her. So and
Maybe.
I'm not the biggest fan of Kip X Jaina, and the reason why I'm not the biggest fan is because like when he was kind of I know he was talking about taking her more as an apprentice, but like it came off a bit too flirtatious in my book. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and the fact that you want her to be your Padawan and then like potentially start a relationship with her after, it felt a little like grooming.
It's
Now
raising
it
some
was,
red flags.
yeah. Well, the weird thing is, it didn't feel as weird in Dark Empire when Luke was dating Jem Yazana, because they're both adults. Despite her
Yeah.
being a bit ignorant in the Force, Luke is still teaching her, but their feelings don't really sprout from like, well, they kind of sprout from Jedi training, but like it's something that just kind of happens naturally. Daddy issues,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
the
it's something
relationship
that,
also goes nowhere. So
well, yeah, because they, Luke can't be with anybody
Jen
else.
died.
Only Mara Jade.
Only Mara. Only Mara.
Only Mara, because Tim Zahn made the amazing Thrawn trilogy. It's as much as I love that trilogy, it is and consider it. I do consider it my sequel trilogy, by the way. It is a little bit
Yeah.
overrated. It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's just a little bit overrated. I
It
I'm like,
is.
oh no,
Um.
controversial take. But so let's see. So after that, Tenelka foils an assassination attempt on her father.
Yeah.
And her father is kind of, because of the state her mom's in, is kind of trying to insist. He's like, look, I know you don't want this, but duty kind of demands someone needs to take the throne. And you can tell she really doesn't want the throne, because she's like, I'm a Jedi. I I'm still a princess of the Apes, but I'm also a Jedi, and I honor my mother's heritage as a witch of Dathomir. So I need to
Yeah.
follow what my heart is telling. So yeah, there's that conflict sort of brewing.
Yeah.
And basically, I think Ten will cause a little bit wise to what her grandmother's doing, even if she doesn't just say straight up. Um, but she worries about Jaina, and she explains what kind of people the Yuzhang Vong are to her father. Like, she worries about her grandmother's machinations, but she also worries about sort of Jaina's journey right now, because she is kind of
Yeah. Her darker
digging
journey,
a
one might say.
yeah, just like the title implies, dark journey, digging a little too far into the dark side.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they kind of have like a little ball gala type thing, which is probably common in that household because they're super rich, royal, fancy pirate people. So uh, we have Tenelka having a dance with her father, and I really did like that scene.
Yeah.
Because you expect the daughter to dance with her dad, so it makes sense.
It's
Of
cute.
course, that sort of thing only typically works with a wedding. Being a Jedi's destiny she believes instead of her throne. Yeah, that's kind of her whole philosophy. And then Jagged and Jaina uh, kind of talk back and forth and flirt because they're at the gala because I think Ta Chume invited her to it, but
Yeah.
she's dressed up and Jagged, he's cleaned up in like an imperial uniform and he's like, you look nice in a dress type thing. It's like that
Yeah.
typical, it's
The
the
ball trope.
star-crossed. Well, it's the star-crossed worlds. Like he's more fanciful. It's
He's
like
a
the yeah. Go ahead.
traditionalist.
Well,
I
he's
think
more
what he's trying to
he's more
say.
traditionalist.
Yeah.
It's like the Lord. It's like the Lord, like the commander or something, falling in love with the common girl, basically.
Kind of,
And
yeah.
even Jaina, you can tell she's kind of having feelings for him too, because it's a struggle for her. She he kind of frustrates and confounds her, and she does the same for him. So yeah, I can see the relationship pretty much kind of developing there, which it feels
Mm,
that's one thing I do like about this book is that the relationship between Jaina and Jag feels natural, like it's a natural growth.
correct. Yeah.
Nothing like it doesn't feel like the writer's forcing it. It's like, oh, she's in this fancy palace and there's this good looking guy that's flustering her and he kind of challenges her flight wise as well. And she's got
Hmm.
this like quick wit against her, seeing Dathomir has more dark side connections, which she wants to separate from. Yeah, it makes
Have you
sense.
seen the NGO documentaries?
No, I am saving those for after I finish the series.
Okay, so
I
one
was
of the
gonna have
things which
go ahead.
spoilers really quickly, but one of the things which I think Aaron Olston says regarding the relationship is that um, they both match each other's energy. So they're both very headstrong. They're both very
Yeah,
sort of,
and it does
yeah,
help that they come from two different worlds, because there's always this kind of sense. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, there's this like this sort of sense to defy tradition. Although
correct.
if you really think about it, this is kind of like um, a gender reversal,
Yeah,
because Jaina is a lot like her father, and Jagged is very much the type of person that came from Leia's type of world,
yeah, correct.
where it was like fanciful courts and halls and of all the people for her to fall in love with, it's the scoundrel, and it's the other way around with Jagged. For all the people he could have fallen for, some random Chiss girl or someone in the Ascendancy or some other Imperial woman with like as much class and dignity as him. No, he falls for the scruffy girl with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Which I did like. I absolutely, that's so, yeah, that's something. Yo, Alex just figured out it's you. Hold on one
Oh.
second. My bad. That's not Alex, Dad. This is Yannis. Uh, sorry, that's my bad. No, Alex. I don't know. Maybe something came up with him. Hang on. Let me check Discord real quick because I think he would say something if he wasn't going to show up.
Yeah.
That's how he handled it last time. He's not even on Discord right now, which surprising me because he might have something going on. In which case, that's fine if he can't make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Alex didn't make it, despite the fact I got him in the stream header.
Thumbnail too. So
Yeah,
he might show up later. Might.
maybe. Anyway,
Fingers crossed.
So Ta Chume pretty much. Good to meet you, Yannis. That's by the way. Going through that profile, that's my dad in the comments. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna start
nice.
him on NJO eventually, but he and I are still going through, at least for his portion of he's still going through the prequel era. He's got to do Darth Bane, Darth Plagueis, a lot of those early books. So anyway, Eeny Hoot. So in this, Jaina is arguing with Ta Chume because she thinks pleasure to meet you too. Okay, nice. Jaina and Ta Chume are arguing about Tenennial Joe. She thinks she's like being weak and indulgent because she's like, she hasn't gotten over like the death of her child and still feeling the loss of a bunch of
Yeah.
soldiers that are loyal to us, so their lives don't matter. She's this is Tachume is very much one of those completely one-sided characters. Like, it
Yeah.
seemed like she was starting to grow as a person a little bit. As I was put me on a proper path of the EU. Nice. But yeah, it seems like she in Young Jedi Knight she was starting to grow a little bit because it was politically inconvenient or politically convenient for her at the time. But for the most part, she's pretty much just scheming, conniving. I'm like, yeah, she's basically
Yes.
Borsk Phalia, like the female version of Borsk Phalia, except she actually has the power to back up her threats.
Yeah. She's the stereotypical Hapen.
Yeah, I grew up in the Royal Hapen court. But again, the reason why I drew the comparison to Borskfalia is because he's like, this is how things are done in the political Bothan society. Everybody plays by these rules. Oh,
Yeah.
Alex is here. Uh,
Hi,
Hello.
Alex.
hello. Hello, creepy face. I
Blood
don't remember who
Meridian,
that
Judge
is. I don't
Holden.
remember who
That
that
is
is,
Judge
but
Holden from Blood Meridian.
Yeah,
oh,
Judge
Bloodburn.
Holden.
Yeah, that's been explained to me before, but that he's supposedly worse than the devil. I'm like, sounds like he's just the devil incarnate.
Good book, though. Highly recommend.
Yeah. I don't know if Yannis is on Twitter.
No, I'm not.
Or /X. No, I met him via an EU server on Discord. Dark greetings, Alex. Yeah, that's my dad. He's saying dark greetings.
Dark readings.
But yeah, we're a little bit of an hour into my note for this book. Roughly around the time Jaina and Ta Chum are arguing about Tenennial Joe.
Right.
So we've already gone through a lot of the preamble of this book.
Fair.
And Jaina is she pretty much hasn't figured out what Tenel Ka has already figured it out, but hasn't figured out, but like she pretty much thinks that because because Tenennial Joe is dying, that Tachume wants to put Leia as Isolder's wife. Wants to somehow gain her as Isolder's wife. Basically second chance. But obviously Tachume isn't trying to work that, and then so her and her consort Tristan continue their plotting. And then just out of the blue, Kip Duran grabs Jaina. He's a little bit upset for some reason. And she's like, okay, why are you pulling me out? And then he tells her to get changed into like her casual Jedi robe type thing. And he kind of waits outside while she's changing. Like they have like one of those like one of those like changing walls that people used to have.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just giving her attitude the whole time because he's like, where's everyone from geographically? Well, Alex is in California, so I know that much.
Yeah, we're both right.
Yeah, and then Yannis is somewhere in Russia, or I think.
No, I'm in Athens, Greece, actually.
Oh shoot! You sounded Russian. My bad.
I sounded Russian. I'll take that as a compliment.
I'm terrible with accents, though. Unless they're stereotypical, I'm terrible with accents. But yeah. So yeah, Jaina's giving him attitude. He's giving attitude back. But it turns out the whole reason he snuck her out of there was to take her to a private funeral that the Jedi were having for Anakin.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of people that speak well of Anakin. You have I think it was like, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think Genna Rysode spoke well of him. Elpa, whatever that is. Anyway, Genna Rysode spoke well of him. Obviously Luke did. I don't think Jaina spoke, but I think Techley spoke well of him. I think even Zek. And then again, it's been a bit since I went through this, but I know obviously Tahiri spoke very well of him.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I feel like it was a complete missed opportunity. And I don't know if they correct this later, but I feel like it was a complete missed opportunity. Is Leia not offering to like adopt Tahiri?
Yeah,
I mean,
that never
yeah.
happens. I'll say. I don't think that's really a spoiler.
Well, like she lost her parents, and like she's probably never going to see her Tusken dad again. Because she's already kind of an outsider because of the Vong doing stuff to her, and like there was no debate that Tahiri and Anakin like loved each other.
No, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say they never like do any like official court work, but I mean they certainly treat her as family, I'd say. But that's a lot of found family in Star Wars, So
yeah, no, it kind of irked me that I know Leia's going through some grief of her own, but it kind of irked me that like Han and Leia did not like just instantly like, because they know she loved their son.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't
there's a lot of things going on right now, so
like there I know, but like there wasn't really any debate that like had Anakin lived, they definitely would have gotten married.
Probably, yeah.
So like the fact that like Leia doesn't kind of like jump on that, and I don't mean jump on that like disrespect. I mean like the fact that Leia and Han don't just kind of like accept her as like found fan. That kind of bugged me, and so it was a really missed opportunity.
I mean, later on they'll certainly treat her that close, but I mean, she's never like officially like a part of the family or anything.
Yeah,
But they certainly treat her well whenever she's around. Is what I'll say there.
yeah.
So, I close enough, I guess. But I know what you mean.
And then, so Anakin finally, his body finally gets put to rest. He gets cremated like a true Jedi, which is like, I don't approve of how his body got there, because I think it was very selfish of Jaina to risk the lives of her friends just to recover the dead body of her brother, knowing that this was potentially a one-way trip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I took issue with that, but at the same time, I am also kind of glad that Anakin's body got the proper funeral pyre of a Jedi, and that his flesh is now one with the Force, just like his spirit is.
Grandfathers.
So
yeah, and Jaina actually does cry finally, because it's really sunken into her that her brothers, and I say brothers plural because she still thinks Jason is dead,
yeah.
are really gone, and she's pretty much the last of the Solo clan, for future reference.
So she's got to get busy with Jag.
No, but so Jaina decides to stay on Hapes and continue. Like most of the other Jedi decide to leave with Luke so they can head back to Eclipse Base.
I love how much, regardless of how, because I've heard many two-sided opinions on Courtship of Princess Leia, but the further you go in to the expanded universe, that is one of the most essential books of the entire expanded universe, because it will be used again and again and again. It's used here quite a few times in New Jedi Order. It's used a few times in Legacy of the Force. It keeps popping up, so it's become one of the most like important like new planets in the entire like literary EU. So I just think it's really, regardless of anybody's opinion on that book, how important it is.
I think stuff from Courtship of Princess Leia is used more frequently than stuff. This is the ironic part. Like stuff from Courtship of Princess Leia and is used ironically more than stuff from what's the term I'm looking for? Like stuff from like the X-Wing books.
Yeah.
Because the X-Wing books kind of has like a shared universe with Tim Zahn's, but you can still feel the influence of Tim Zahn years later with like stuff like Mara and Corran Horn, but those are like that's like real specific things. But like with the Courtship of Princess Leia, you have the Hapens, you have the Night Sisters, you have the Witches of Dathomir, you have the whole Hapen Royal Military, and
Chinokov's entire existence is thanks to Courtship Princess Leia.
But my point is that it doesn't just affect like other books that Kevin J. Anderson did,
yeah,
or because it pops up even in the comic books. It popped. There's that 4-issue war arc. Was it Infinity's End? About Quinlan Voss going to Dathomir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it expands even further. It expand all that just from Dave Wolverton's one novel, which some people for some reason do not like.
Yeah. It's like they've
It's a
never heard
great
of
book.
different genres before. Like it's like very clearly trying to be a romantic comedy, but people take it too seriously, even though it's clearly the vibe it's going for. Like when I'm watching Breaking Bad, I have a different expectation than when I'm watching When Harry Met Sally. So
yeah.
if you just look at it at that mindset, like Courtship of Princess Leia is probably one of my favorite romantic comedies ever. So,
like I understood why Han was the way he was in the book because I had gone through the Wraith Squadron books.
yeah.
But Leia's personality was just a little off for me because I don't know. I just don't imagine her falling into like that sort of weird love triangle.
Well, I mean, she's always
Yeah.
been selfless. So the thing about Isildur originally with all that was it wasn't even really about like a love triangle. It's like this, because at that point in time, like the Empire was still like a big thing. And so if all she has to do is marry this dude and she gets access to entirely new access of like military that will really help them in their fight against what's left of the Empire. So it's like purely
Yeah.
strategic move. And she always cares more about other people than she cares about herself.
Well,
So,
it's
but
not
it
even.
also
There was that scene where she was being attacked by Hapen assassins,
yeah, but
and he was protecting her. And there's like this moment where she gets swept up in the magic of him, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't buy this. Just that particular part of it.
I mean the whole thing was that she was doing it for duty, but she's like, oh, he's like that's actually makes it better because the stereotypical thing to do is Han's obviously the right choice, and I Theodore was a douchebag, but instead they made him actually like a really good guy, like a
Oh yeah, no,
super
but I
solid
don't,
choice.
I don't
Yeah.
despise Princess Older.
No, I'm not saying you do.
He's a good guy.
I'm just saying, like to me, it doesn't feel like Leia would fall into that. But
Yeah,
that's just my personal critique. But
no, yeah, I get that.
look, let me get back to the book. So Jaina
Yeah.
decides to stay under the pretense that she's actually considering becoming Kip Duran's pupil. Really, she's just doing her own thing. And obviously, Kip Duran is staying because he's part of Jag Fell's squadron that's attacking the Vong. And also because I'm not sure he would feel welcome among the Eclipse-based Jedi, considering his whole we need to go out and fight attitude, which
Correct.
I think he's kind of regretting at this point. Which again, I still don't think he needed this arc, but whatever. So Tenel Ka goes to visit her ailing mother. She speaks to Ta Chum and Isolde about like basically what kind of Jaina's state and what she's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jag Fell has the intention of recruiting Jaina to his squadron because he's trying to get the best pilots he can to combat the Yuzan Vong. But I don't think he could find her right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, around this time, I was wrong. I thought it was earlier, but around this time is when Tenel Ka learns of the true plot of what she's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I guess Jag did find Jaina, but they ended up having like this huge, like I guess sort of argument. And then she goes to she goes to talk to Lobaka, who was basically her friend, like the only one that kind of stuck around with her.
Yeah.
And then Harar and Kaylee Law are basically discussing, what's this? Starter missing. Oh.
I sent.
Okay. Thanks.
I sent another.
Appreciate that. All right, but my dad sent a message about the stream to a server. But so basically, Harar and Kaylee Law are kind of discussing, like, Jaina's attack and the Chiss attack and how it all connects, and Harar literally brings up the idea that Jaina might have been sent by their goddess as a way of, like, kind of, because she herself is kind of a trickster, so they think, like, oh, maybe she's an emissary of Yunharla. And it's it's her big irony that, like, okay, it's her like it's the big irony that they're using an infidel to try and, like, mess with us, or Yunharla's using an infidel to mess with us, and Kaylee Law immediately dismisses this because he's like, there's no way that they would use a disgusting infidel like her. Because they have that whole philosophy about, like, twins.
Yeah. And why they're important with the whole Yunharla, Yun Yuxin thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole Yunharla thing it's an important plot line for later on in the NJO as well. So it's important that it first shows up here.
Oh yeah. No, it's. I know, but, like, technically, it started to show up, I think, in either Star by Star or Rebirth, when they were talking about, wait, there's twins, and they discuss how there's more than one set of twins. There's, Jason and Jaina, obviously, but they also talk about how Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa Solo are also twins.
Yeah.
And so the Vong find this incredibly blasphemous and wrong, because, like, they have these twins, but they haven't sacrificed one of them.
Yeah.
Because they have that weird rule about, like, when you have twins in a Yuzhang Vong society, one of them has to kill the other when they're old enough.
Yeah.
To sort of prove who's the strongest. But yeah,
the strongest.
So Princess Isolde talks to Leia and Han about Jaina's crazy plan using this trickster. And then Ta Chume talks to Leia, not so much like she's an inferior, but like an equal. Like, it's our children trouble us, that sort of thing. Like, they're both mothers now, and it's like, she's like, since when are we peers? She's thinking to herself. She's always thought of me as less than her. Since when?
Yeah.
Since when are we suddenly peers now? But so let's see. More of my Epstein's notes. Let's see. Epstein's Mutta. For anybody who's ever seen Welcome Back, Kotter. Anyway.
Yeah.
Glad you said that, because I was like, what do you mean, Epstein?
Wait, what do you mean Epstein notes? I had to clarify it. No, because you have to clarify that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It reminds me of the Always Sunny clip where Frank talks. This is in, like, one of the later seasons. He talks about going to the Epstein Island, but he was only there for the snorkeling.
Right.
Because it's like whatever, like 90% of what on that island was actually pretty good.
I didn't touch kids. I swear.
So anyway, Leia talks to Jaina about. Okay,
Lane's
so
gonna have
now,
some good moments in this book.
well, they're talking about how like even Leia can't feel Jaina through the Force because of how the dark side's kind of like cutting her off. And she asks like, "Are you actually serious about Kip Duran's apprenticeship offer? Considering Jaina and Kip are not on the best of terms. Leia and the Kip are not on the best of terms. So like, and she makes it at least for that moment she makes it clear that she's not serious. But who knows if her mind will be changed? But yeah, like again, Jaina. Like the most questionable thing Jaina does, in my opinion, doesn't even happen in the book itself, but I'll get to that when I get there.
Mhm.
Anyway. So yeah, so like Jaina and Jag continue to like puzzle each other, like relationship wise, and then Jaina
Mhm.
tries to justify like her more dark side actions to
Yeah.
Lobaka, and Lobaka just doesn't understand. He's like, okay. Keep in
Mhm.
mind, he can't even like talk to her regularly because EMTD is missing or MTD's, but yeah. But so Jaina ends up creating. This is an interesting little footnote here. But Jaina ends up creating a false face Philip, so that the face looking back at somebody just kind of looks like another disturbing like scary Vong face.
Yeah.
So I find it interesting the way she's able to manipulate Vong technology. This is just going to prove like Harar more correctly that she's a servant of Yun Harla, so or at least a
Mhm.
representation. So now Jaina gets her most controversial idea, which is like she's like, okay, so we know that people that serve the Vong get implanted with brain coral.
Yeah.
And she talks about taking some of the pirates that were working for the Vong, the Peace Brigaders, uh, and experimenting, like taking the coral out of their heads and then putting it back in, experimenting on them, basically,
Yeah. Which
to find a way to like either track or turn the technology against them, which is
is a bit
clever, but
unethical.
it's more than a little unethical. It's like, oh, we're going to be able to do this by committing war crimes. Excellent. So they hire a guy who works. I think he works for. Hang on, let me see here.
Um,
Anyway, they hire a guy. I think he works for. His name's Crimpler. I think he works for Ta Chume, or at least like the Hapen government or something like that. Anyway,
yeah.
so they use him to break one of the prisoners out.
Mhm.
Uh, then Crimpler hands the pirates over to. I thought I collected these notes, but I guess I didn't. Uh, because she decided to work with Kip Duran. And this was like
Mhm.
basically the price for her becoming his apprentice was like, I need your help with a project.
Yeah.
And so basically they take this guy and let's see. This is about the time when the novel started to get a little interesting.
Mhm.
And I guess because Jaina sensed some sort of treachery earlier within Ta Chume's consort Tristan, like he worked for like some other Hapen house that was trying to depose her and her family. She
Yeah.
pretty much kills her consort that she's been plotting with through most of the book. But Ta Chum continues her plots of, because Jaina was able to sniff this out, she's like, oh, she's going to make the perfect queen for my son, despite being, decades younger than him.
Yeah.
So then it shifts over to Jag going through the refugee camp. And he just finds Jaina incredibly vexing, and he wants to meet her father, wants to talk to the great Han Solo. And then basically within that fight, Jag has to help Han fight off some Hapen guards for some reason, because they don't fully understand why he suddenly got into a fight with some Hapens. So Leia shows up after they've taken down the guards. Han gets bandaged up, and Jag basically explains, hey, I was just walking through the camp. All of a sudden, these Hapen guards attacked Han. I have no idea what's going on. I just helped them.
Yeah.
And then Leia finds a bunch of treasure in their camp tent, and she's like, "Oh, this is a dowry price from Hapens." It's fairly obvious that they tried to, buy me from Han, like, because again, they still think it's Leia that she's trying to get, and she's like, it's very clearly that she's trying to buy me from Han, so that I will marry her son and rule the throne once Tenennial Joe is out of the way.
Yeah.
And then so Leia tells Jag to go look for the Millennium Falcon and Zek for some reason, which I don't know why that came up. It never really pops up again. Jaina and Kip actually kind of talk. Like, he starts one is like, are you really okay with like crossing these lines? And he's beginning to think, he's like, at this point he's beginning to think, well, I've kind of set like a piss poor example. Because she's now doing things that I would do. So this is kind of a wake up call for him a little bit, but at the same time he's still helping her. He kind of wants to change who he is now. Again, I still don't see why he needed this arc. I still didn't think it was a good idea.
Kip did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Kip supremacy.
Kip.
Kip did nothing wrong. I stand Kip.
I am the number one Kip Duran fan, and I will challenge Matt Wilkins on that.
I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you both.
It'll be a three-way duel. But yeah.
To the death.
So they arrive on Galanor, and Jaina tells him, okay, so this is the price we have to pay for you to become my apprentice. And I'm gonna break away from the novel and go to the short story, The Apprentice. So, you get a little recap, but this does add a little bit of dialogue that's not in the book. But
it's basically like a director's cut. It's like a scene that would be in the extended edition of Lord of the Rings and just wasn't there for some reason. It's basically what this short story is.
Yeah. And I'm hoping my friend Jonathan is watching this, because I don't think he's read the short story, but this might change his perspective on Jaina in the book, knowing that the context in this scene exists. But anyway, so Jaina and Tenel Ka argue about revenge and the dark side because she thinks she's doing this for revenge, and Tenel Ka's like, this is not what Jaina what Jason would want, and like it's painfully obvious, she had feelings for Jason, so she's like,
Yeah.
this is like Jaina dares to insinuate or something that she
So
didn't like
mad at
love.
Vector Prime and Danny Quee.
Yeah,
Pisses me off.
that she didn't like love her brother or something like that.
Yeah, well, because I mean, Tino Ka and him by the end of Young Jedi Knights were very clearly a couple, and Vector Prime just never addresses that. Did they break
Vector
up?
Prime didn't address it, but Star by Star did, and
Yeah,
because they're
because Troy
still very
Denning
much.
actually cares about it. So
Yeah, that's I'm beginning. Troy Denning is beginning to grow on me. We'll see how I feel when I get to the other books, but
yeah, we'll see.
anyway, so Lily comes to Jaina's defense, thinking, "Hey, this is our old friend." Kip Duran wants to intervene, but that ends up stopping there, so the argument's put on hold. Tenel Ka has her own diplomatic mission. Price for apprenticeship. So he takes her and the prisoner that they took from the prison, who's like a Hapen boxer who was like a former pirate. Anyway, or basically a pirate. So they take him through like a sewer system because they're trying to keep this very incognito. And then the kickboxer turns on them. She fires lightning at the guy. Yeah, Jaina does. I don't want to hear no forced judgment. She was using the dark side ability.
Electric judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she definitely was. She also used she was using the dark side in Star by Star. It's the same thing. She's just furthering along that path from Star by Star.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Vajir in that last, or I probably already said this, but she like kind of frowned upon her doing that. But we'll get to that later. But it says that in Star by Star that she was like not pleased with her. Anyway, continue on.
Yeah. So they nearly drown in like Jaina especially nearly drowns in like flooding coolant that like starts to flood that very narrow sewer system. They get out through a spiral they create, and Jaina nearly drowns again. They get rescued by Hapen guards, and Jaina kind of loses consciousness. She wakes up, and Kip Duran is knocked out and memory wiped all the guards. And then, well, actually, he hasn't mind wiped them. He's just knocked them out. But he reluctantly teaches her the mind wipe ability. Which, again, is just kind of showing that Kip is kind of regretting his previous actions, and Jane is just doubling down on them. So I'm like, well, crap.
Yeah.
So they meet the scientist by the name of Sensor Call, who's like this dude in a red robe. And, he's obviously like what you would expect, like a shady business doctor. And so they do the obvious surgery, where they take out the brain coral, examine it, alter it, and then put it back in the guy's head. And then Kip covers their tracks and, basically mind wipes who he needs to mind wipe. And then I guess Loey knew about their sort of operation. She has Loey delete any records of them being there. And this is the thing that made me go like, man, how could she do this? She brain wipes Lobaka.
Yeah.
Of the incident. What a betrayal.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't angry. I thought I would be angry about it. I surprisingly wasn't, considering the path she's on, but wow.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Same, yeah. I'm like, I ain't mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jamie such calls. So now Jaina has like this thought process about looking for realms of possibilities beyond what the Jedi have explored in the Force. Mind you, I think she even had Kip Duran wipe her mind of the incident, so she couldn't tell anybody about it. And then, like, knowing this context actually kind of makes the next scene hurt a little more. Jaina, Tenoka, and Loey go to like the Galanor wilderness to see fire drakes. Like, just kind of see them flying through the night. Like they kind of go on like a hiking trip, and I'm like, dang! After brain wiping your friend, you guys go on a hiking trip. Okay. But so they start to get attacked by the flying creatures, and then it moves back to Han, because he's still trying to remember exactly why he attacked the Hapen guards.
Yeah.
Like the natural assumption is that they think, oh, Leia, he was offered a dowry price for Leia. No wonder he'd get so angry. But obviously they don't know that for sure, like why he's doing that. Yeah.
Yep.
And so when they go back to the Hapen Palace, Kip begins to wonder if like there's limits. If he's like, have I pushed things too far, basically?
So we have
Which again just kind of shows his character, considering he's like, you've been through a Sith Lord, you know the difference between pushing things too far and not. And then Jaina and Ta Chum discuss the results of what happened. And then Jaina and Tenoka end up arguing about the dangers of learning from your enemy, which again, I get reminded of this season 1 quote from the first season of Babylon 5. For those who have watched the show, Sheridan talks with this security system that attached to this guy from like the planet Ikara, I think. And it was something that became obsessed with purity, but the principle still kind of stands. When you become obsessed with the enemy, you become the enemy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. What Tenoka is trying to imply with Jaina here is that like you want to use the enemy's tactics. You want to kill them and use their tactics. Like how different are you from them by doing this? Like how really different are you from them?
Correct.
So then let's see. The scene moves to Harar, learning from some of the Hapen prisoners that escaped. Once he learns the truth, he has them executed or to be sacrificed.
Yep.
So yeah, again, your Peace Brigade reaping what you sow. Nope, I don't have any sympathy there.
Yeah.
And then Jaina and Jag argue again, which the amount of arguing they're doing in this book, because again, he was just trying to compliment her, but the amount of arguing they're doing in this book to each other, it's like, what, you guys are basically just married now, aren't you?
Yeah.
But then Tenel Ka warns Jag of what Ta Chum's really trying to do, and he's like, "Oh, so he's trying to force a marriage." And he's wondering if Jaina's going to do it. And then Jaina decides to use her father's life debt to so that Loie will bring Wookiee mechanics to work on the trickster and adjust things and get like some of their tools and stuff, like, and like again, having the context of what she did, I'm like, dude, you already asked a lot of him, and you're asking more.
Yeah.
Like, she is really scraping the barrel of like hurting people who trust her. So
Correct.
and then like I guess she had done a test flight earlier with 2 pilots that had put them in danger, because again she's doing that tracking signal that make the Vong think that every ship they run into is the trickster.
Correct.
Both like regular ships and their own. And she put 2 pilots at risk, and so Kip gets mad at her. He's like, "You did that with my authorization, you did that without my authorization, but you used my name." And he's very clearly trying to teach her the lesson of do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then she pretty much reminds him of his own choices, and he's like, "You act like I don't regret some of those."
Yeah.
And then Ta Chume tells, because of how things are going, like obviously no man could rule Hapes, so she's
Correct.
telling her son to at least consider Jaina. And he said he would, not as like seriously, obviously, but. And while they were doing one of their tests, some of the Wookiees that Jaina had asked Loie to bring over end up getting killed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not enough that you wipe his mind. You also have to get some of his friends killed in the process, and you're trying to justify that too. So Kip and Jaina end up arguing again, and this time she wants to get straight into lightsaber duels.
Yep.
And this time Kip's like, "No, you know what? I'm not going to fight you." He's like, "You know what I'm going to do?" He's like, "Say, he says, I'm going to do the flight. So it's my neck on the line." And she gets mad at that.
Yeah.
And then she pretty much, threatens him to come back alive, which, how do you threaten? But, and then, I think it was, again, Jag once again trying to warn Jaina about Ta Chume's niceness. How her being polite and everything. Let's see.
Yeah.
Harar and Kaylee Law attack what they believe is the trickster, but of course it's Jaina tricking them. And then there was some joke about a droid being called 01, and then Kip explains it to Sean Kier. I don't even remember that detail. Not all that much.
Mm-hmm.
And so Harar and Kaylee Law are like, oh great, like this. She's figured out how to scramble our ship, so they have to retreat for now.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's happy, because Jaina's tactic, it pretty much worked. She got the ships confused, and Jag is trying to compliment her, but it ends up coming off to her as an insult, so he ends up walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And also Sean Kier berates Jag for admiring her recklessness. So
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, and Han finally remembers what Ta Chume's proposal. And there's one detail I remember. So Luke, it was like some. Okay, I vaguely remember it, but it was some detail about like Luke and Mara protecting their son or something like that. Dang it! I wish I remember exactly. So Han remembers the actual proposal. It was for Jaina. Jaina has like a meditation dream. This is where she kind of wakes up to reality. She has like a meditation dream where she has like the nightmare of fighting her brother at the Shadow Academy. Like she sees Darth Vader. She ends up taking it down, and it's initially Jason's face in the previous dreams. And Kip wakes her up.
Yeah.
And then she has like this weird vision about Jag being tied up somewhere on apes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they find they go to find Tenel Ka, and Tenel Ka shows them that her mom's dead and that all this time she was working on a project, and that project was like a secret Hapen fleet. So yeah, this just kind of like it makes sense, but at the same time it comes kind of out of left field.
Yeah, it's like a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, so Ta Chume kind of takes control of the throne temporarily, and she puts the blame of Tenennial Joe's death on an enemy house, even though she clearly was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
So Tenel Claw finally like decides to reluctantly take the throne and put all of her forces under Jagged Fell's command.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tino Cobb being in charge of Hapes is actually like a quintessential, super important plot beat for like the
Oh, I
remainder
know
of the universe.
it's pretty much going to define the fact that she is now on the throne.
Yeah, no, but like I'm just saying, like it's like in this book it just kind of happens, but like it's like probably one of the most important things that comes out of this entire 19-book series.
Oh yeah, no, but like I didn't even think of the situation lightly. I'm like, oh, there's Tenel Ka being the goat again.
Yeah, I mean she always is.
She doesn't want to she doesn't want to take the job, but she knows she has to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Hapes is going to be in turmoil. Which again, she's
Yeah.
whether people realize it or not, she's actually once again being a true Jedi.
Yeah. Which is why she's best girl.
She is.
Yeah.
Tenel Ka is best girl. See, so Jane and Kip argue about who's going to fly the trickster. And then, so Jaina's like, all right, we'll have a duel. Whoever wins is the one that gets to go. And then Jaina's like, you go first. You step off the ramp first. And as he steps off the ramp, she closes it behind him, and he gets mad, obviously. So she starts fighting. She starts doing straight. She gets another vision, and she's fighting Darth Vader again. But this time, it's not her brother. This time, it's because I think she refused to fight him this time. This time, the Vader patches start coming off, and it's Kip Duran.
Yeah.
So she ends up kind of being a redemption for him, like a light for him. So because she's bringing out a part of himself that knows the difference between right and wrong. Which, again, I get it, but I still think the arc is unnecessary.
The reason it's unnecessary is because half of the people in New Jedi Order that wrote for New Jedi Order hate Kip Duran, and it's really, excuse my French, fucking annoying. That's why. It's why they do this weird arc with him, because they don't like him.
Well, I don't think Elaine Cunningham doesn't like him because she included this arc in general. And it's clear Troy Denning. It's clear Troy Denning doesn't hate him because he was.
Well, no, Troy Denning doesn't. But I'm saying this arc exists because of earlier arcs in the New Jedi Order series already. Everything they were doing with Kip early on was, if you read it, it's very clearly like Kip is in the wrong, Kip is in the wrong, Kip is in the wrong. Like, you're supposed to think Kip is in the wrong and Luke's right. The only thing that Luke's like kind of wrong on is being like hesitant or too hesitant.
Yeah. That makes sense. And I think,
but they're doing it because they dislike him, and it was a big move by like Michael Stackpole and a bunch of those authors. James Luceno, they don't like Kip, so that's why they did it that way. They included him because
I didn't know James Luceno didn't like Kip.
No, yeah, he doesn't. I think there's an interview somewhere where he says he's not like a big fan of him. But
I should have challenged him to a boxing match while I was at the con. Yeah. I wish I had known that detail.
I mean, I bet now he doesn't even remember or care because it's like been years.
I did get to talk to him, and I did get to finally ask him my question about Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like when you read New Jedi Order, like people really glaze it, and they glaze it for a reason. It is really phenomenal. I think it's better than the films themselves, all of them. But there's a bunch of inconsistencies left and right, because despite what people say, and there was a bunch of collaboration and continuity and stuff, but there was also behind the scenes a lot of disagreements about a lot of things, and a lot of people had different ideas of what they wanted from Star Wars. So you get a lot of different, like the people that like Kevin J. Anderson and like his work, like Troy Denning, are going to put Kip in the best light. People like Michael Stackpole who don't are going to put Kip in the worst light. So you have these conflicting tones throughout, and it's not just Kip; it's different things too. But that's one of the things I've noticed on like rereads and stuff of this series is that sort of
I noticed a lot of these details with my first go through. So yeah, you are kind of right.
Yeah. So, but it's a phenomenal series. It's just like you peel through the cracks, and there's a little bit of it's not as perfect as some people make it out to be.
Yeah, I know it's what you would call a flawed masterpiece. So
yes, absolutely. I still think it's the best thing to ever come out of Star Wars. So
yeah, I do agree with you, even though I thought this book was just kind of okay.
No, same. I this is not my favorite of New Jedi Order by any means.
I don't worry, we're getting to Traitor eventually.
No,
I have to go through the Aaron Alston duology. I don't think those books will let me down because I typically like Aaron Alston's writing.
No, Aaron Alston's fantastic. If I'm with you for the second Aaron Alston book, I'll explain why I am just not a big fan of it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with the story, but part of what I feel, and this book is also part of it, because I feel like while it does a bunch with Jaina, it also doesn't really do that much in terms of character development or plot advancement. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's awesome to have 19 books following this series, but at the same time, after Star by Star, we're used to the Vong at this point, and I'm kind of getting sick and tired of them. and they're not really that scary of a threat anymore. They were when I didn't really understand them, but at this point, we all pretty much understand them pretty well, how they work, how they operate, what they believe. And once you understand them, they cease to be scary. And so now all it really is at this
Well,
point
it's
a
it's
new
what we were
empire.
discussing in it's what we were
Yeah.
discussing in the Star by Star stream. The
Yeah.
oh, what abomination what abomination will they come up with next?
Yeah. But it just becomes a thing of, okay, well, now I just feel like my time's being wasted. And the worst offender of it is that second Aaron Olson book, because you could have made that be a story anywhere, really, and excluding the Vong, and it would still be a fantastic story.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about it that actually advances the plot of New Jedi Order. It's just a book
Correct.
to distract you from the finale, to keep you in it longer. But it doesn't actually do anything, and that's my biggest thing. That we're on a reread. But we'll
I'll
get
see
to
when
that.
when I go through, because again, this is my first time. But when I go through these books, I do pick up a lot of the details people miss, because again, I'm doing an e-reader, so I'm listening to details over and over. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But so let me get to the next point. So she has this vision. She starts battling Kaylee Law, but rather than her getting blown out of the sky by him, which would have been the obvious result, because since he's a superior flight warrior, at least among his people, Kip kind of interferes, and I think he gets shot down and damaged.
Yeah.
And so Jaina feels regret about that, so she actually goes after the attack gets broken off. She actually goes to pick him up and make sure he gets medical attention.
Yeah.
And then Ta Chume gets mad at Jaina because she didn't take the throne. She has her angry old woman hissy fit. The Simpson joke old man yells at clouds, kind of the old woman yells at little girl. So
Kal's grandma is the worst person ever. I hate her so much.
I compared her to Borsk Phalia, but she can actually back up her threats. So
but Borsk Phalia has redeeming qualities, and Tino Kal's mother has none. So
yeah, she really doesn't. So at this point in the book, Jaina, this is about where I'm like, oh, finally you're waking up to things. She hugs Tenel Ka and realizes just how far she's fallen, how much over the deep end she's gone.
Yeah.
NGO is the most popular series in the EU. The panel we attended was packed. Both panels were packed. When I went both times with you, with my dad.
Both Legends Con 1 was also very packed. Though I was a bit disappointed with that panel, but that's a separate thing. The first one, I wasn't there for the second one, so
yeah. So Jaina talks about her path and the path of the Jedi and where she's going to go from there, and then we get this thing which I wasn't expecting, because I thought it was just going to end with Jaina, but then we get an epilogue of Kaylee Law pretty much saying, I'll sacrifice myself to preserve the honor of the clan, when he's talking to Harar. And then Harar just out of the blue says he wonders if Jason Solo has survived.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning this entire time the Vong pretty much know that he's in captivity.
Yeah.
So there's I know people. It just makes me wonder if people paid attention, because I know a lot of people at this point are assuming, or even read these books, because a lot of people are assuming that Jason is dead, and yet the very end of this book pretty much says, no, he's alive.
Well, the rule of fiction is, if you don't see it explicitly stated, then it didn't happen. So
Yeah, I know.
that's how I knew
But-
Jason. Well, I mean, I also knew that there were later books. So, but
Yeah.
hindsight, I didn't get to know what it would be like reading it as it came out. So
yeah, final thoughts on this particular NJO book. A lot of lines crossing, the unnecessary redemption of Kip Duran, because for some reason authors and fans have this hate boner at him. Most likely because of iJedi.
because
Anyway,
Michael Stackpole said so.
Yeah, it's you shouldn't like him because Michael Stackpole and Tim Zahn said so.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I'm like, if Michael Stackpole and Tim Zahn told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it?
They would.
I would not be shocked if they did.
Anything for Stackpole.
Anything for Zahn. Anything for Stackpole.
Anything
And
for Stackpole. I'll have a relationship with an otter just like Corin.
Well, like I'm someone who loves their writing. That doesn't mean.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I won't be honest when I say no. That's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Like I've had to tell people that, like, and my buddy Annihilus came up with this, by the way, that iJedi, because of how like majorly contradictory it is to
It's the most like what's the word for it? It's the most disrespectful EU novel, in my opinion.
I don't think he intended it that way, or at least he says he doesn't. And Kevin didn't have a problem,
Kevin's
which
a
is
super
fine.
nice guy. That's why Kevin's the nicest sweetheart. That's why. But,
yeah, but basically, my buddy Annihilus came up with this. Is that basically when it comes to iJedi, that it's basically a drunk Corin Horn telling his wife everything he did to rescue her.
Yeah.
Because this honestly,
that's another thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say, like, iJedi, like, so the plot of the book doesn't even start till like the midway through. Like the first third doesn't even need to exist. You could literally just start it with like the middle part where he goes to find his wife. There's no need other than he already knew that he could use the Force. He knew that he had the potential. The only thing it does is establish him training at Luke's academy. But beyond that, the entire first section of iJedi is there to shit on Kevin J. Anderson's work. That's just how
I watched your review of the book. It's literally like I believe you described it as saying, "I can write this better than you."
Yeah. I think you love Alston. You've read Starfighters of Adamar already?
Yeah.
So here's the difference between Stackpole and Alston. Alston has class, and Stackpole doesn't. And this is why. Because when you read Michael Stackpole and you read iJedi, and there's a specific part where, because Wedge is dating Quizux, and many people.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that felt. Oh my! That felt so forced.
It's just.
I know what you're talking about.
It's just Michael Stackpole in the book, shoving himself in the book, saying like, "This is retarded, isn't it? This is a dumb relationship. This is a dumb relationship. I told you so. I told you so. They're gonna break up." And it's very explicitly just Michael Stackpole venting. But then, when you read Starfighters of Adamar and they break up, Alston has the same opinions as Michael Stackpole. He hates it too. But here's the difference. He starts the book off with a very nuanced, very emotional, and very realistic ending to a relationship. He gives her grace. He gives her grace, gives her dignity, and gives the relationship respect, and then ends it in universe. So that way everyone can be happy. The people that enjoyed it can have a respectful end to the relationship, and the people that didn't like it don't have to think about it anymore. But that's the difference. That is why I like Alston more than Stackpole.
Okay, yeah. I was just gonna say that because Alston also took more risks than Stackpole.
Well, yeah, that too.
But yeah, no, I do kind of agree in that regard. But yeah, the second you brought up the Quizux thing, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. That detail of the book felt so forced, but enough. But yeah, enough.
Yeah.
When I think iJedi, all I feel like okay, so if you've read the Deveronian version,
yeah,
that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
It feels like the Vilmar Grok adaptation of Jedi Council Acts of War, but enough.
No, yeah, enough of that.
Except in that one, Vilmar Grok, you obviously know he's lying. Where Corran
Yeah.
Horn expects you to believe it. But
Yeah.
enough crapping on iJedi. So yeah, this book has a lot of good moments. I felt the flow was off because I didn't really start to really like I liked a lot of the details of Dark Journey, but I didn't really start to like the book until the plot picked up a little.
Yeah, there's a lot of
around the
meandering.
time they go to Galanor, basically.
There's a lot of meandering in the book. I mean, there's a lot of nice small moments for Jaina and other characters. I do appreciate Kip getting a focus. I
Yeah,
wish it wasn't so forced upon this trajectory for some sort of redemption that I don't think he even needed. His redemption is his entire character.
Yeah,
Since
pretty
the
much.
end of his trilogy, where he's introduced, his entire life as a Jedi, whether he makes mistakes or not, his entire life is penance for what he did. So I don't see this as necessary. His entire life, everything he does, sure, he may be a bit more hot-headed than Luke, but everything he does is in service of other people and in
Well,
penance for what he's done.
Horn was more hot-headed than Luke, and everybody
Right?
gives him a pass.
Because he's Michael Stackpole's
Yeah.
baby.
It's Michael Stackpole, baby!
But
yeah,
honestly,
no,
Kip
like,
has like the best like sort of character like thing of all time, because his whole thing is, I mean, Star Wars is all about redemption, and he actually, you know, Vader did one good
He
thing right
embodies
before he
it.
died, and we just look at him positively because he did the good thing at the end. But Kip didn't die after the evil he did, and he has to live with that and atone for it every day, and he's working his best to do so. So I think
also,
that's
Kip Duran didn't do anything that Luke, Mara Jade, and Corran Horn didn't already do in some way.
yeah. Death Star, anyone?
Yeah.
There were innocents on the Death Star. We don't talk about that. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot
the
of
uncomfortable
there's slave
truths of the
labor
Star
on the
Wars
Death Star.
universe nobody likes to talk about.
You can read the Death Star novel to see how about that. You know?
The Death Star, I love the Death Star novel, and
So
yeah,
good.
I do see what you're talking about. But yeah, like as far as Dark Journey goes, it's okay. It's like got a lot of good moments.
Yeah. I also hate the cover art. I think it's abysmal. This and Traitor have like the same sort of art, and it pisses me off.
It's funny. Yannis
I like it.
other than the facial part, Yannis kind of likes the art, the background art, not the facial
Fair
art.
enough. I mean, yeah. At least we have the Japanese covers though. So.
Oh yeah, no, I was
Those are
telling
beautiful.
Yannis, I'm like, if they release NJO and ELCs,
Oh, I'm buying them all. They won't do it,
well,
but I would buy them all.
yeah, no, I said if
Yeah.
it doesn't have the Japanese cover, then no matter what, the covers are going to be trash
Yeah.
by comparison. They could. Here's the thing: they could be like beautifully modern painted
Yeah.
and actually look almost as good as the Japanese ones, but everybody's
They'll be
going to
almost
dismiss them
as
as
good.
trash the second they see the actual Japanese covers.
That's true.
So yeah, this was Dark Journey. It was a short but very detailed novel that really only moved Jaina's story along, and I do like Jaina's character. I do think she's a good character, and I think her and Jag's relationship in this at least works. At least the as like a starting point. But we'll see how this goes when I start the Aaron Alston Enemy Lines duology, which I'm super excited. But anybody got any final thoughts about the book?
I'm just glad we got the focus on Jaina, but
you know, it was a good focus. It's just I wish it was a bit more of an interesting story.
I agree.
And again, I'm not crapping on the writer. I'm not crapping on Jaina because again, they actually like most of the time I enjoy Jaina, but like they actually kind of focused on her and actually made her go through a really decent arc in this book.
Yeah.
But I just feel like if the story, like the flow of the story had been better, I might have been a bit more interested.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Yannis?
The second chapter of this book is seared into my memory.
Mhm.
Which one was the second chapter?
The one where you have the Mercury Strike team all together on the ship, and the narrator basically goes over their thoughts and how they are, and psychoanalyzes them.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
to be fair, most of them are feeling grief over the people they lost, especially Tahiri. Like, I feel like there should
Yeah.
have been more focused on Tahiri and her portion of the loss, because I feel like her and Jaina would have a kinship. And again,
Yeah. Missed opportunity, really.
complete missed opportunity that Jaina would not like see her as a little sister, considering like how she knows, like everybody kind of knows that Tahiri loved Anakin, so it bugs me that she's not treated as family by the Skywalker clan,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
sort of found family.
Yeah. But after this, you get two fun, basically, Alston's X-Wing books, but during the New Jedi Order. And then I'd argue the best book in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, and just a damn good bit of literature. Period. Like I think it exceeds.
I'm
all
going to
the
be
Star
honest.
Wars.
I can't wait to talk about Trader, because I didn't get, again. I still didn't get to discuss in depth with Stover, but he and he did friend me on Twitter when I talked to him, because I'm supposed
Yeah.
to send. He's supposed to get back to me at some point, because I'm supposed to send him basically the same thing I'm supposed to send you, which is like a volume of Berserk. But
Oh, really?
yeah, because I'm gonna check out his I'm gonna check out his Legacy of Kain books. So at the off
Oh,
chance,
those
Mr.
his,
Stover, if you're
his
watching
fantasy book.
this, yeah, his Acts of Cain books.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say Legacy of Kain is a video game.
Sorry, not Legacy.
Yeah.
My brain is farting crossed. But
That's also a
yeah,
long list of my TBRs to read his fantasy series.
yeah. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I pretty much said I would, and he had seen, I guess he had seen some of the anime of Berserk, and I'm like, I mean, the anime's decent, it's good, but I really think you should read the manga.
Mhm.
Yeah, which by the way, next time I get paid, Alex, send me your address and I'll send you the first volume.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I love starting people on Berserk, but
That's me with the entire Expanded Universe. This is the whole reason I do what I do. At this point, I mean, I've talked about these books twice now on my own. I'm doing a podcast in publication order, which I'll get to New Jedi Order when I'm like 30, with the way I'm going about doing it every month. And
well, I did notice you're doing that podcast, and it always happens when I'm at work. You guys are doing that podcast with like Scott and, oh my god, his name is escaping me, but he has
Al and
like,
Robert,
Robert.
yeah,
And,
I think it's Robert. Yeah, he has the
the deep voice.
smooth,
Yeah.
the smooth, deep British, almost ASMR voice.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great
But
voice. I'll never have a voice like that. But I wasn't trying to promote. I'm just saying, like, I love getting new people onto it. Every time I meet somebody who's starting EU for the first time, I always try to encourage them. Maybe they're uncomfortable. I'm like, make some YouTube videos, make a Instagram post about it. Like just share your experience, because I can never, unless I get dementia when I'm old, I can't re-experience this for the first time. I can never do that
I
again.
love hearing about people's
So.
first experience, but I've tried to get people into the EU, and I've succeeded a few times, at least with a couple stories, but not like a
Deep into it.
in
Yeah.
depth.
That's why I enjoy
What do you
watching
think?
these and being a part of them. I mean, it's great to hear you're getting to experience this for the first time. I mean, I remember when I first read it for the first time. I glazed it a little too hard because I was excited just to have a better sequel than what I had watched in the theaters. But it's still such a grand thing that happened, and it's an achievement that it was able to be made at all. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I knew some of the spoilers, so like
Yeah, me
some
too.
of the major spoilers weren't spoiled for. But yeah, like I'll be happy to like that. That's the whole reason, because like after I do Unifying Force, I'm gonna do one more stream discussing the the series as a whole with details from the NJO documentary and the digital copy of the NJO Bible that a friend gave to me. So
That sounds fun.
So yeah, I'm basically just going to give my 2 cents on the series as a whole by the time I finish.
Yeah.
Because despite like my minor issues with this series, it has been pretty darn consistent with what it's been. Yeah. All right.
The whole of it is amazing.
Thank you guys so much for hopping on. And for anybody who's watching this, thank you for joining us, and anybody catching the replay, thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope to see you guys and anybody else who wants to pop in with the next. I don't know. With the next 2 NJO books, which is going to be the Enemy Lines duology. All right, so catch you later, guys. Take care. May the Force be with y'all. Later.
Later.
Bye-bye.